You know how they've been announcing this D.O.G.E, Department of Government Efficiency.
Dude, I was
Elon Musk and Vivek.
I was one of the first people to DM them and when they said apply. And I was like, I'm here, man. Let me know. My body is ready. Like, help me. I'd love to join Doge.
So, okay. So what they
He's like, okay.
when they made the announcement, when Trump made the announcement, he called it the Modern Day Manhattan Project, which is a really weird name to call it, by the way.
Yeah.
Because the Manhattan Project, for the rare few of you that don't know, it was a secret government project to develop a nuclear technology and the atom bomb.
Before our enemies did.
Correct. To call it the Modern Manhattan Project alludes to something similar.
Oh, the symbolism is always in that thing.
Of course. If you look back, actually, Elon Musk was invested in a program in early 2000s called Project DeepMind.
Yes, that's right.
And that was called, at that time, the AI Manhattan Project. That's what people refer to it.
Oh, man.
AI DeepMind, he was an investor, and Peter Thiel was an investor in DeepMind when it was in UK. That eventually got bought by Google, and it is now Google DeepMind.
That's right.
They are the aforementioned leader in artificial general intelligence. They're the closest of anybody. When there was an email that was released between Elon Musk and Sam Altman, and in it, when they were talking about before they started OpenAI, they were talking about, I think we need the AI Manhattan Project. So calling the development of artificial general intelligence for the last 20 years for AI technologists was AI Manhattan Project. This is not a new term. For Trump to call it that, you would have to assume that's a correlation. Yes.
It's not a far reach. Not a far reach.
I believe 100%.
Okay.
And in a recent live stream where Elon was playing Diablo, and someone asked him about AGI, and totally in passing, and no one clipped it, no one wanted to talk about it, I don't know why. He said he 100% believes that AGI will be achieved within 2 years.
Makes sense. Accordingly, 2027 is when things are supposed to really head downhill.
AGI, for those that don't know, means that artificial intelligence can think independently and is smarter than humans. That's where we are. So they believe that AI will be smarter than humans officially in less than 2 years. When Elon Musk slashed everything in Twitter, because the headline is Elon Musk caught 80% of Twitter, and because of that, Twitter is fantastic. Look how great it runs. It's no problem.
90%. He slashed 90% of them.
He slashed 90% of Twitter.
Yep.
What he replaced it with is AI.
Oh, yeah.
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 So AI is running the algorithm.
Oh, yeah.
I truly believe that the engineers at X, they actually don't even know how the algorithm actually runs anymore.
Yes, and actually there was a guy who was an engineer, YouTuber, long story short, he did a deep dive in what he believed to be was the contingency of folks that weren't fired in the mass firing, and the majority of them were machine learning engineers, PhDs, artificial intelligence engineers, etc.
So X is literally testing how you can run an organization at scale using basically just AI. That leads back to D.O.G.E.
So tell me more about your misgivings about D.O.G.E.
Okay. So now we know that
Elon has issues with this.
Elon has rolled out the running an organization based on AI machine learning.
Yes.
We've agreed that he's done that.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, he's kind of made it somewhat clear too.
And we know that Peter Thiel and Elon Musk have worked together for a very long time.
Yes.
Since PayPal.
PayPal Mafia.
Yes. They've been invested in the same AI technology and machine learning since day one.
Yep.
If people don't know, Peter Thiel owns Palantir. Palantir was started with money that Peter Thiel made from PayPal and from funding from the CIA.
Yes.
This is fact. You can look it up. There's no question about
Peter
that.
Thiel and Elon Musk are so deep in our government, it's like they're literally leveraging our taxpayer money right now.
And Peter Thiel is the one that funded J.D. Vance. Peter Thiel is the one that funded Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yep.
Peter Thiel is the one that funded Blake Masters. And Blake Masters runs a company called 1729 Capital, who Don Jr. just became a partner in.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So Peter Thiel, Vivek Ramaswamy is a proxy for Peter Thiel.
Yes.
J.D. Vance is a proxy for Peter Thiel. these are most people that can connect any dots will agree that's true. Okay.
Yes, and you shall speak what the puppet master says because his hand is so far up your ass that it goes all the way to your mouth hole.
And Peter Thiel Palantir has contracts with the D.O.G.E, with the CIA, with IDF, and ICE. What they do is they take data and they put it in a way that's consumable, and they put people in lists and groups and categories so you can track them, watch them. They basically they do the back end to support mass surveillance. And the reason why that's important for ICE is because if you need to deport people, how do you find out who to deport? That's why Peter Thiel has a contract. And then all of a sudden you're like, well, J.D. Vance and Trump, they're saying we're going to mass deport people. How do you do that? Well, you have to run a AI-driven mass surveillance machine-learned program in order to find out who you're going to deport. Because they're not trying to deport people that are here by... They're not trying to deport people that are here as asylees, because those are legal immigrants.
Right.
They're trying to deport illegal immigrants, meaning they're trying to deport the gotaways.
Yeah, but
how do you get the gotaways unless you're able to get all the data and surveil them?
Right, and we're handing them cell phones, so we have their data.
Correct. No, we're giving the asylees the cell phones. They're not technically illegal. The illegals are the gotaways.
Okay.
In order to get the gotaways, they don't have the cell phone because they never registered in. To find them, you need surveillance.
Everything's surveilled.
So when you put in a Vivek Ramaswamy, who we've realized is a proxy for Peter Thiel, who runs Palantir, whose company is up, I think, 100% since election.
Makes sense.
And Elon Musk, who has history of taking organizations and having it run by AI machine learning, and you put them together and you put them in the Department of Government Efficiency and you call it the Manhattan Project, one can conclude that they're going to run a AI-driven mass surveillance program on American citizens.
And this mass surveillance program, in many ways, will focus on government inefficiencies. And if we think about the positive side of it, if we go to like El Salvador levels, then maybe, just maybe, he might gut, just like he did with Twitter, 90% of government, which would be an amazing thing. So the problem is we have tens of millions of employees of the government who would be very angry.
So the best parallel and use case would be Argentina with Javier Milei. Javier Milei.
Yes.
Who was just at Mar-a-Lago with Trump and Elon Musk.
Yep. And by the way, he broke up, and he's continuing to break up so many government inefficiencies.
And he went in and he said, I'm slashing 90% of the government and I'm cutting this and you're fired and you're fired. And Elon Musk said, yes, that's how we're going to do it too.
Yep.
You know what he replaced it with?
What?
AI machine learning surveillance. You know they have drone patrols now?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. You know that they are checking people's social profiles to see if they're about to commit a crime? They're doing minority report type stuff.
Oh, pre-crime?
They're doing pre-crime in Argentina.
Oh, pre-crime. Don't be thinking nasty.
So, okay.
Don't be thinking nothing.
If the guy that we are modeling after is Javier Milei, who did the same exact tactics. Because when they roll out big programs in the United States, they don't do it first. They never do it first.
No, they gotta install it in a smaller country to see if it works.
And it worked. He was here. He reported that it worked. And now we're like, we have the new D.O.G.E Manhattan Project.
Well, yeah, they're not technically a government entity, right? So, but they will have access to government individuals to make these types of decisions. Is how some people are saying that how the bifurcation of responsibilities lies. But you bring up an interesting narrative arc. You bring up an interesting narrative arc. Did you see Javier Milei on Lex Fridman? You didn't watch that?
No.
I watched the whole thing in the background like I do with everything when I'm at work in my office. He sounded really good. And Lex Fridman really liked all of his ideas.
Because Lex Fridman loves AI and the future of controlled AI.
Yeah.
So you bring a guy that wants to roll out AI mass surveillance. You put him on a guy that's very pro AI.
Yep.
And you say, look at what the results were. They were amazing.
That's essentially what it was. It was a 2-hour marketing campaign of like,
yeah,
here's how we change things for the better. Don't worry about the misgivings of how we've maybe, crossed some lines of human rights. We don't have human rights in a lot of countries, so don't worry about that. But here's the good, here's the good, here's the good, here's the good. So there was a lot of good. There was a lot of, let's just say, peripheral conversations around technology and the leveraging of technology. And so I think now with this conversation we have here, I think it was pretty clear that Javier Milei has successfully rolled out a dystopian techno future.
Yes.
Where we have techno overlords, and we now have flying drones that will surveil you, scan you, and let the authorities know if you're moving towards any type of pre-crime.
It was pure propaganda.
Yes, most
in
likely.
order to usher in.
Well, they have to tell you the plans.
Well, they want to normalize it for people so that when it happens, then it's like, oh yeah, that was supposed to happen. It's not supposed to happen.
Do you know how many redneck farmers, when they see that drone, they're just going to grab their shotgun and they're just going to blow it out of the sky?
I am very anti-AI controlled, machine learned mass surveillance.
I think it's a terrible idea.
It's a horrible idea.
Well, you're outsourcing decision making to a machine, and you don't know what the machine is leveraging to make determinations and decisions.
And in 2 years, those machines will be smarter than us, meaning I watched an interview with Eric Schmidt, the former CEO of Google.
Can I stop you for just a second? AI is already smarter than most humans.
Correct.
Actually.
But we can still kind of understand. And I don't know if most people know this. When AI, through machine learning, if AI gives you an answer, for example, on ChatGPT, you ask it a question and it gives you an answer. The people who designed the AI don't actually know how the AI gave you that answer.
Yeah, it's black box.
Yeah, black box. That's what they call it. You can look it up.
Yeah, it's black box.
People don't understand how an AI came up to the decision to give you that answer. They just plug in a bunch of information and it just works. That is crazy that we are going to allow a technology that we don't actually truly understand how it does its decision making. We're just hoping that's going to continue to be right all the time. We're just hoping that's correct.
Yeah, and the worst part about it is the efficacy and effectiveness of the models is a function of the source. So if the source is bad, if the source is controlled, if the source is constrained or limited, then it's going to spew out nonsense.
Yes.
And what I mean by nonsense is untruths, right? And so you might say, so is AI the problem, or are the data sets the problem? I've had these conversations with other technologists before, and I'll just give you the short answer. In my opinion, the issue is the source. We know that Wikipedia is being changed all the time. Revisionist history 101. Everything's being changed all the time. If the source of data, the source of facts, the source of history is being changed all the time, then the results of the models, the results of AI are only going to propagandize us towards the messages that they want us to know about, right? That's the problem. The problem is source. What the systems are doing is they are exacting or executing on the source. If the source is bad, then the AI is going to be bad. It's going to make bad decisions.
We are at a place now that if you teach an AI to do 10 tasks, it will figure out how to solve task number 11, 12, and 13 without telling how to do it. How does it learn? We don't know. We just know that it does. I was watching the interview with Eric Schmidt. It's a talk he did on Stanford, and I believe they tried to take it down.
Yeah, they did try to take it down.
And people like cut it and copied it. And
they said, oh, this is him talking about, yeah, I know where you're going, yep.
And he said that we're going to get into a place where AI is so much smarter than humans that it will start coding in a language that people don't understand, because they're going to realize that there's another language that's more efficient than the language we use.
Yeah.
And we as humans will not understand the language in which they code. They're going to develop a language that's more complex than we can comprehend, meaning it's going to get out of control really fast. That's why Elon, quote, said, AI is the unleashing of demons. That's such a weird thing to say, by the way. That's what he called it.
It's
the unleashing of demons.
He said, if I can, he said more than that, though. He has said, he's gone on record multiple times talking about the absolute worst case scenario of risks of this, but yet he's somehow able to wrestle with the tension of the fact that he's actually pushing it as well. And so you wonder if, let's just say, the wolf is guarding the sheep pen, if you know what I mean, you know?
It's really scary times, I think. I think people don't give it enough credit. And I think it's something that people need to be cognizant of. I think that's why it goes back to the beginning of we're going to be put into these digital communities and you're going to have a choice. You can either choose to join a community or you can be put into a community, into your grouping.